If you freeze mid-conversation because you're searching for a translation in your head, that's not a vocabulary problem, my friend. That's a habit problem, a bad habit. And I can help you fix it with this video. Hey, I'm Sandy. I've taught English for over 12 years and I'm also finishing my degree in educational psychology. So today is not just about tips, it's about the why behind them. We're going to dive deep into a practical, real world guide on how to stop translating in your head. We're using something called the direct method, which means constant exposure to English, zero translation, let go. The problem, listen. Here's what's happening in your brain when you translate. You're running two languages instead of one. That's the hesitation, the freeze, the Every strategy in this video removes one of those bad translation habits. First strategy is label your everyday life. What is this? The first way to stop translating in your head is to identify the objects around you in your target language. In this case, English. Right now, look at the objects around your room. Look at the things in your life. Don't think silla, chair, mesa, table. No, 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 no. Think chair, think table. You need to train your English muscles. You need a direct connection with English, not a bridge. Start associating the words in English with your everyday life now. Let's say that you're cooking breakfast. You're gonna have the conversation with yourself. I'm cooking eggs. I'm making this. You need to do your daily activities in English where possible and when possible. Tell yourself, I'm cooking. I'm doing the laundry. I'm driving right now. What do I have to do tomorrow? Have these constant conversations with yourself. Just think about the vocabulary associated with the activity you're doing at the moment. Let's say you're at a restaurant, okay? She's a server. I am a customer. I love the decoration. I don't like that wall. I like the lighting in this place. I don't like that. What's this thing that covers my tail? Now look, if you do this, you might realize you have vocabulary gaps here and there. But now you don't know how to describe this, okay? And that's perfect. You know why? Because that's where the magic happens when you don't understand something. And this is strategy number two. Strategy number two is the no dictionary rule in a real conversation. Tip number two is crucial. Do not bring a dictionary to your conversation practice. I understand an electronic dictionary on your phone is very convenient, but it destroys the flow of a conversation. When students are practicing and reach a point where they don't know the word, they pull out their dictionary. Say, just a moment, let me look it up. You don't have the ability to do that in a real conversation with a native speaker. If you go to a bank, let's say, to open an account, you aren't going to sit there looking up every word. So, what I recommend, explain, don't translate. Okay? Instead of just translating or using Google Translator, please don't use Google Translator. Again, don't use Google Translator. It's not that Google Translator is bad, it's just that this method we're talking about emphasizes on only using English for learning English. So when you take your native language, in my case Spanish, and I translate from Spanish to English, from English to Spanish, that's a problem because I am killing that process. So no Google Translator. But what can you do? Let me tell you what you can do. You can instead practice the skill of describing the vocabulary and word you want to use. Find a different way to explain it using the tools and body language you already have. You can use an expression like, what's the word that means that I have too much to do and I am stressed? When you describe the characteristics like that, if you're speaking with a native speaker, this is a chance for them to teach you and to help you, and you will remember it much better. So if you say, what is the word that I can use when I have too much to do or I am stressed, they're probably gonna tell you overwhelmed, And that's a new vocabulary that now you have. But what if you go to Google Translator or any AI and you type the word in Spanish because you have the idea here and it gives you the translation into English? Now, what you have is a solution for a moment, not a permanent solution. Remember, if you try to learn English, it's because you want a long term relationship with English. Yes, relationship. Like English is your girlfriend or your boyfriend. I mean it like that. You need to create this bond, this connection with the language. That's the only way, through immersion, through repeated practice, through long sessions studying English, but not only studying, spending time with English, because you don't need a textbook. You don't even need to take classes. But what you do need is to spend time with English. There is no other way around it. Now, let's say this conversation is when you are alone. You don't have a person that you're talking to. There is no anyone that speaks English around, and you're watching a movie or you're reading something on the internet, or something pops up on Instagram, and now there is this phrase or this word that you don't understand. That's easier because now we have AI, and that's a very practical use for AI, but not for translation. Remember, you're going to ask AI to describe the vocabulary and be your personal tutor. Let me show you how to do that. I'm here on Gemini, okay? You can use any AI that you would like. Let me show you. It's very simple. What's overwhelmed? Explain it in simple A2 English. Don't use Spanish. What you could also do is to ask to give you extra examples. Give me 3 to 5 examples in context. So what the AI is gonna do is that it's gonna teach you, it's gonna help you understand the vocabulary, and it's gonna do it in English. But not only that, it's gonna give you examples, and it's gonna take into consideration your level, like your proficiency in English, how powerful it is. Like when you do this, it's gonna give you a great explanation in simple English that you can understand, and also that is gonna help you with your objective of becoming fluent in English. Look at this. To feel overwhelmed means you feel like there is too much happening at the same time. When you're overwhelmed, you're very stressed, you feel like a problem is too big, or you have too much work, and also you cannot do it all. You can also feel overwhelmed with good feelings, like when you're so happy that you want to cry. Look at this. That's the way you learn English in context. If you compare it to just having a translation, okay, overwhelmed is this. Okay, I got it. You don't learn, you don't grow. I know this takes more time. Of course, it takes more time because this is better. This has substance. This is going to help you with your objective. Let me tell you something that you probably didn't know. To reach an upper intermediate level in English, it's believed that you need around 500 or 600 hours of practice. And that doesn't mean just studying. It could be watching movies, listening to music, having conversations, writing, doing this thing that we're doing right now. So if you take 5 minutes at least to practice 3, 4, 5 phrases that you need in order to reach the level and the objective that you have set yourself, okay? Because it's your goal. Then 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes doing this, it's wonderful because, okay, you're spending time and this is quality time. Remember that you need around 600 hours to get to a level in English in which you could feel confident to have a conversation with anyone, to study at a college, to apply for a job, to read books in English. So this is nothing. And if you really want to learn English, doing things like these are going to help. Now, you can take it to a next level. You could ask, prepare a short story using this vocabulary and vocabulary related to it. That's where the magic happens. Strategy number 3 is train common responses, default responses. Listen, you shouldn't think when people ask you, what's your name? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? What do you do yesterday? What's your favorite hobby? What's your favorite food? Describe your last vacation. If you need to think about those questions, it's because you need more practice. So I want you to do something. Listen. I want you to do something. I want you to take a piece of paper, a notebook, and I need you to write 8 to 15 questions in English that you struggle with. It could be basic questions, intermediate questions. For the next time a person asks you any of these questions that you struggle with, I need you to be ready, because if I ask you what's your name and your answer is automatic, it means that the answer to the other questions should be automatic as well. So if I ask you what do you do for a living and you need to think about it, then you need to continue practicing that question. You need constant interaction with English. You need to make situations that you can't escape into your native language. Watch TV and movies, series in English, no subtitles in your native language. In my case, it's Spanish. So no movies, no series with subtitles in Spanish. What you need to do is the following: either no subtitles at all or closed captions. You're going to have the subtitles in English. So the idea is that you can see it and also pronounce it. Remember, the objective is to learn English, meaning you are working right now. I need you to listen and pay close attention to the phrases that they use in the movies you are interested in. The phrases that call your attention, you're going to listen and repeat. If possible, you're going to write them down. I do not recommend to be writing things down the whole time, because it takes away from your development as an independent learner. Because if you always need to be writing things, your brain always thinks that is going to have a backup there on paper. So I need you to think and try to memorize. Of course, if something is important or relevant to you, you can write it down. That's perfect. But remember, don't make it a habit, like writing everything that you don't understand. To give you a number, like only write 10%, 5% of the things that you don't understand and you want to learn. All the other things, try to memorize them here. You need to look at the word and how the word is used in a full sentence, because full sentences or phrases help you understand the nuance, helps you understand the context. Do not, do not study isolated words. Do not study isolated vocabulary. Study everything in context. Now, I also need you to speak out loud, okay? It's not here only. You need to repeat. You need to speak out, because that's the way that you're going to master, or at least learn, the proper sounds in English. Don't worry about accent. That's not your objective. Your objective is pronunciation and communication. So guys, those are real-world, science-based strategies to help you stop translating in English. Number 1, do your daily activities in English. Number 2, describe the meaning instead of translating or using a dictionary. The number 3 is train your small talk. You need to get better at speaking. You need to become more fluent, and you need to practice speaking right now. If you don't have a friend or a partner, just talk to AI. My next video on this channel is going to be about talking to AI and using AI to practice your English. So look it up here in the channel. It should be there, or I'm gonna put it here somewhere once I upload it. And number 4, immerse yourself in media. Watch movies, series, documentaries, podcasts, music, reading a little bit. Do all those things, and I guarantee and I promise you, you're going to become so fluent in English that you are going to forget completely about translation in no time. If you like this content, if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out on any of our English lessons. And remember, English is easy.